Turkish Airlines presents Business Africa.
Hello and welcome everyone to Business Africa. This week we're in West Africa, more precisely in Benin. Here, the 5th edition of the Cyber Africa Forum took place over 2 days, focusing on digital ecosystem resilience. The challenge, strengthening cybersecurity and promoting public-private partnerships. Next, heading to the cotton plains. In Benin, about 12% of cotton is now processed locally to encourage made-in-Benin products. Then, a focus on a paradox. Despite 6.6% growth, Beninese people struggle to fill their shopping baskets. In Cotonou, new markets shine, but the stalls remain empty. This year, the Cyber Africa Forum brought together more than 1,000 African digital actors in Cotonou. The event explored crucial issues such as cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and the financing of digital infrastructure.
Cotonou hosted the 5th edition of the Cyber Africa Forum on June 24th and 25th, dedicated to the resilience of digital ecosystems. More than 1,000 African stakeholders gathered to discuss cybersecurity challenges and concrete solutions to be implemented. For the forum's General Commissioner, this issue is now vital for the continent's digital future.
This theme concretely and simply means the need to anticipate, to plan and to prepare for the current and future shocks that Africa and the world are facing. It has become central because, unfortunately, our continent has not always been forward-thinking.
One of the major concerns raised was the issue of limited connectivity, a key barrier to the expansion of digital services and a central focus for tech giants like Google.
Connectivity in Africa is a big challenge when it comes to digital transformation and improving lives of citizens across the board and making our services available to more people. So the undersea cable, Equiano, as well as our cloud region in Johannesburg, that's now public knowledge, is pivotal to that strategy of taking digital services to the rest of the continent.
Resilience also means coordination. In the face of growing cybercrime, the forum emphasized the urgent need for harmonized legal frameworks, a priority also recognized by the Republic of the Congo.
So here we are coming together to co-develop and assess how we can set up mechanisms to respond when our information systems are attacked. In Congo, we have legislation that protects information systems, meaning cybersecurity, but also individual freedoms, that is to say, cybercrime.
Hosted in Benin, a country committed to digital transformation, the Cyber Africa Forum laid the groundwork for a resilient digital Africa where robust infrastructure, regulation and cooperation come together in service of a more sovereign continent.
We're still here at the Cyber Africa Forum in Cotonou, and our guest this week is the Director General of CINEN, the National Centre for Digital Investigations of Benin, Mr. Wanilo Medegon Fagla. Mr. Medegon Fagla, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for your invitation.
The central theme of the forum is the resilience of digital ecosystems. So concretely, at your level, what does that represent?
At the national center level, it represents how we support ecosystem actors in implementing resilient information systems. This includes several components, both in design phase, which must be resilient by nature and by design, and in incident response. These infrastructures are targeted by various kinds of attacks, sometimes successful, sometimes not. The question is how to help organizations respond to these attempts. In Benin, people are getting used to not having to go physically to administrative offices. That depends on information systems and above all on expertise. All of this can be compromised if not secured. We have a state-of-the-art power plant.
Between 2017 and 2020, Benin rose from 149th to 6th place in the Global Cybersecurity Index. That's impressive. What projects or reforms explain that progress?
We moved from the 149th place globally to 56th and to 6th place on the African continent. This progress comes from our national digital security strategy, which is built around 5 key pillars: protecting government information, combating crimes, and strengthening the legal and regulatory framework, promoting digital trust, developing digital security skills and culture, and ensuring national coordination and international cooperation. Within the first pillar, there are 2 important policies I want to mention. The first is a state information system security policy. The stricter one is a critical information infrastructure protection policy. This one goes further by including business continuity disaster recovery, call site and more to ensure that if these entities are hit by natural disaster, they can still deliver services.
Let's talk about Hacker Lab. I know it's ongoing and was launched in 2017. What happens after the talent is identified?
The objective is not just to identify them, but to build the operational force that will carry out these reforms. That's why we created Hacker Lab. It acts as a lab to spot talent by putting young people through technical and mental challenges. They have to stay strong to get through to the end of the competition. Once they are selected, the winners usually join our operational teams. I'm thinking of Digital Investigation Laboratory, the Directorate of Data Collection and Analysis at the National Center itself. In all of these units, where we need sharp and versatile analysts, they come from the Hacker Lab.
Dans toutes les unités opérationnelles, on a besoin d'analystes qui sont vraiment pertinents et hands-on, comme on dit, viennent du Hacker Lab.
Mr. Medigal-Fagla, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In Benin, cotton accounts for nearly 40% of GDP and 80% of export revenues. For several years now, part of it has been processed locally, strengthening the economic autonomy of the textile sector and industrialization.
As Africa's leading cotton producer, Benin is shifting its strategy. Rather than exporting all its raw fiber, the country is now processing part of its production locally. The goal is to capture more added value and build a national textile industry under the Made in Benin label. This industrial ambition is taking shape in the Glo-Jibe Special Economic Zone. These garments manufacturing units will allow us to showcase our capabilities in producing Made in Benin products. Today, this zone covers an area of over 1614 hectares. We've developed the first phase covering 400 hectares, where we've signed agreements with 36 investors, and we are currently having 15 more investors waiting. Before reaching Glo-Jibe, the cotton fibers are sorted, cleaned, and separated from their seeds. About 12% of the fiber produced is processed here, primarily into clothing and uniform for the public sector. This key agricultural product alone accounts for nearly 40% of the country's agricultural GDP and 80% of its export revenues. Today, this processed and exported product brings Benin 5 to 6 times more added value than before. And that added value has a direct impact on our economy. Cotton isn't the only crop benefiting from this shift. Cashew nuts, Benin's second major agricultural product, are also processed at Dis in the south before being exported. With over 10,000 jobs already created, Benin is confirming its commitment to inclusive industrialization designed to stimulate employment, innovation, and economic sovereignty.
In Benin, economic growth has not yet translated into a tangible improvement in household purchasing power. This situation reveals a gap between infrastructure development and the reality experienced by citizens.
Benin's economy is growing, but its citizens are still waiting for their purchasing power to improve. While new modern markets keep being built, many inhabitants like Suzanne Agboudondé struggle to fill their shopping baskets at less recent stores. Really, this is no good. Everything here is expensive. Agboudondé suspected that her task would have been easier at one of the modern markets housed in impressive brand new buildings. There, the stalls are full and waiting for customers.
It's going well. We thank the government. Here at the market, we managed to sell well, but we are still hoping for more. We are asking the government to let all the people on the roadsides inside so that we can sell more.
Benin's economic growth rate hit 6.8% in 2025, according to government statistics. But this number doesn't correspond to the reality of many citizens. At a closer look, Benin is not spared from the harmful effects of a more global economic crisis.
The low purchasing power in Benin currently is due to this external pressure, this economic shock.
A difficult situation for the authorities. As the next presidential election is less than a year away, transforming the macroeconomic advances into tangible results for citizens has become a crucial question.
That's the end of this edition of Business Africa in Benin. To watch this episode again, visit Africanews.com and all our digital platforms. See you soon.
Business Africa was presented by Turkish Airlines.